Alright guys, with UFC 245 now behind us and everybody's wildest dream in the BMF match between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz is all over with, it's time for us to all wake up to the harsh realities. And that harsh reality is that the most hated fighter in all of MMA right now has his chance to become our UFC Welterweight Champion. What do you think about this fight?
Hated fighter? That man's a national treasure. Man's a national treasure, Eric. This man's single-handedly trying to make the welterweight division great again. Let's be honest, Eric. Let's be honest. This division has been great since Matt Hughes and Johnny Hendricks, two fine, outstanding Americans. Let's just be honest here, buddy.
Well, Kamaru Usman says he's a real American as well.
If that's his real name. Marty fake newsman over here. He's also against the Second Amendment. I think I'm not going to put too much stock in a guy who's against the Second Amendment, Eric. You telling me he's anti-guns? That's what you're trying to tell me, Eric? He's anti-guns? Forget about it. He doesn't stand a chance. Doesn't stand one chance. You wanna know why, Eric? You wanna know why? Colby Covington, not only fighting for the championship, he's fighting for America. He's fighting for the troops. Think he's gonna fail? Think he's gonna fail them? This fight is bigger than what he ever expected or anticipated.
Well, let's see if he can make Trump proud.
We'll see.
Alright, looking at the stats, we have Kamaru Usman coming in at 6 feet tall with a 76-inch reach. We have Colby Covington coming in at 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. So we have Kamaru Usman coming in with a 4-inch reach advantage. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out in this one. Colby Covington is a very well-rounded fighter with a relentless pace. He is a NCAA Division I All-American, and that wrestling game of his translates very well into his MMA game. He fights with relentless pressure. He has really good takedowns, really good slams, and he has an incredible top game. He has good ground and pound, good submission, and on the feet, just like his wrestling game, he comes in with relentless pressure. He has a very versatile set of attacks, really good with his hands, really good with the spinning attacks, really good with the kicks, and he has cardio for days. Kamaru Usman is a very big and imposing fighter in the octagon. He is an NCAA Division II All-American, and that wrestling game also translates very well into his MMA game. Just like Colby, he fights with relentless pressure. He uses his size to take his opponents to the fence, lands that takedown, and he is ruthless with the ground and pound. He's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, so he does have a really good submission game. On the feet, again, he carries a lot of power with his size. He's very heavy-handed, really good with his hands, really good boxing, really good kicks as well. Really imposing, really good at pushing his opponents up against the fence and just battering them. Also, just like Colby Covington, he has cardio for days. Alright, now getting into the fight itself, these two have very similar styles in the fact that they're both high-level wrestlers and they both fight with relentless pressure. Most times when we see two high-level wrestlers fighting each other, they tend to completely negate that wrestling and it becomes a striking battle. Now that being said, again, Kamaru Usman is very big and imposing, and we have seen Colby Covington susceptible to takedowns in his fight with RDA. He pressured RDA for most of that fight, landed a lot of volume. He won that fight and he won it decisively, but somewhere toward the end of that fight, RDA was able to land a takedown when Colby wasn't able to land much on RDA himself. RDA is an underrated wrestler, but I wouldn't say he's anywhere near the level of Kamaru Usman. It's going to be very interesting to see if Kamaru Usman can impose his size, take Colby Covington to the fence, and try to land those takedowns. If he is, and he's able to keep Colby Covington there and land the ground and pound, it could be a disaster for Colby, as I don't see Colby being somebody with a really good game off of his back. Where do you see that exchange going?
Well, whatever you said ain't gonna happen. Here's how it's gonna go down, Eric. They're gonna meet in the middle octagon. Colby's gonna hit with the old stars and stripes, and then finish her off with Old Glory. First round knockout.
Let's talk about that striking. Again, Colby Covington is a NCAA Division I All-American. Being that high level of a wrestler and knowing the type of game that Kamaru Usman brings, there's no doubt he's going to be working on his takedown defense. And again, accomplishing what he accomplished in his collegiate years, he has to have good defensive wrestling. I do see this fight going on the feet, at least for the early portion of the fight. And what it is, while Kamaru Usman brings a lot of power, Colby Covington brings a lot of versatility. He has a variety of attacks, not only with the boxing, but with the spinning attacks, with the kicks, and he does not go backwards. He's coming forward at you, he's in your face the entire time, and he's landing with the volume. Again, like we saw in the Robbie Lawler fight, he showed a big improvement in his boxing game. He had a very Nick and Nate Diaz style in there, controlling his power, mixing his 50% punches in with his power shots, really taking it to the body and the head. Pressured Robbie Lawler up against the fence, and when the takedown was available, he went for it. Not really looking to out-wrestle Robbie Lawler and set him up for the ground and pound, but he was trying to wear Robbie Lawler down. Now, that being said, Kamaru Usman has cardio for days, just like Colby Covington, but he does carry a lot of muscle in there. Do you think he's going to be able to wear Kamaru down?
Oh, I thought you were going to say you suspect him of using PEDs. I thought that's what you were going with that.
Do you think either men's cardio are going to come and play in this one?
No, Eric, he ain't going to back down. I don't know if you watch or follow his Instagram. Seems like he's been working on his stamina with some lovely ladies, helping out a national treasure. Those ladies are fine Americans as well, helping out another fine American to get the job done. Ladies, we salute you. You're just doing it for their country, Eric. So no, I don't think stamina is going to be an issue. There's no way Marty Fake News is going to back up Colby Covington at any point of the fight because these colors don't run, baby. Red, white, and blue. So no. To answer your question, no. I don't think it's going to be a factor.
Now that being said, while Colby Covington does bring the volume, Kamaru Usman is bringing the power. And he packs a lot of power in his punches. While I wouldn't call him a knockout artist, he's still good at stifling his opponents, really making them feel that power and backing them up.
Well, Colby Covington's bringing liberty, baby. Soaring Eagles, Grand Canyon. He's bringing it all. He can't lose this fight. He can't fail. Mount Rushmore. You name it. He's bringing it.
Regarding Kamaru Usman's power, again, he is good with his hands. Where I don't see them working too well in this fight, though, is that, again, Colby Covington has, I would say, better striking defense than Kamaru Usman. You know, Kamaru Usman just plows forward. Colby Covington showed a lot of good head movement against a very powerful and dangerous fighter in Robbie Lawler. You know, Robbie Lawler, I'm not sure if he has more power than Kamaru Usman, but he definitely knows how to use his power better than Kamaru Usman. He has an incredible left hand that he just was not able to find a home for in that Colby Covington fight, and that's because Colby Covington was in his face the entire time.
Switching levels.
Yeah, switching levels, going to the head and body, not giving Robbie Lawler any room to breathe in there. I see the same thing happening in this one. You know, unless Kamaru Usman can just use his size to impose his will on Colby Covington and try to back him up, try to walk through those strikes and grab a hold of Colby. I think Colby is going to continue to land on Kamaru Usman, and I'm not saying he's going to wear him down, but he's going to win on points. Again, both men have cardio for days, but Colby's going to be striking at a much faster pace than Kamaru. And again, he is more versatile. Kamaru, on the feet, while he does have good kicks, more often than not, he goes in and headhunts in there. He's going to be looking for that knockout punch against Colby, and I don't think he's going to be able to find it. I think he is going to land a couple of times on Colby. I just don't see him landing clean enough to stifle him or to knock him out. In the later rounds, I think Kamaru is going to have much better of a chance than in the earlier rounds. You know, one thing I did see with Colby Covington in that Robbie Lawler fight is he did choose to stop the wrestling game and box with Robbie Lawler. And I think that's because the wrestling game was taking a lot out of him. He went at a much higher pace against Robbie than he did any of his past opponents, and I think that it zapped some of his energy. Took a lot of deep breaths in between rounds, kept his composure. He went to the boxing, and it was effective for him. I don't think he's gonna go as hard against Kamaru in this one, knowing how big Kamaru is. I think he's gonna stick to what he does on the feet and just go at Kamaru, get in his face, and start landing with the volume. While Kamaru does have a great chin and he's very durable, I think some of those strikes are gonna begin to wear on him. In the later rounds, I do believe that he's gonna be able to start landing some of the takedowns, but I just think it's gonna be too little too late. I think Colby Covington is going to be able to win on points and get this decision victory.
So you're picking Colby?
I'm picking Colby.
So you're a real patriot, like me, like myself. You're a real patriot, Eric.
Again, I think he's going to get that welterweight belt around his waist, and he's going to have the nerd tears flowing.
Oh yeah. I'll ask you this: since you're such a patriot, do you see going all 5 rounds, or?
Yeah, it's definitely going all 5 rounds.
So you got all 5 rounds. I got first round knockout for Colby. Those stars and stripes, and then Old Glory. Finish her up with Old Glory right here.
A lot of people are saying this is going to be a really boring fight. You know, we've seen a lot of really boring wrestler versus wrestler matches in the UFC. Do you think that's going to be the case with this one?
No. No. It's not going to be a Ben Askren type of wrestling match or type of fight. It's not going to be a boring fight.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a boring fight. Both these guys are extremely active. I'll be surprised if it is a boring fight, but no, I do not see it being a boring fight.
You know, while we all loved the Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz fight, both of these guys are at the top of the division for a reason. They're both elite talent, and with both of them being high-level wrestlers, if they negate each other's skills with their defensive wrestling and we have a stand-up battle, it's going to be very competitive. You know, these guys, while not the best strikers in the world, they're no slouch in those departments either. Again, Kamaru doesn't just bring power, but he is very sharp with his hands. Colby, you know, as much as everybody wants to hate on him, he is a very exciting fighter to watch. Again, he brings a high pace, a high amount of strikes, and he has infinite cardio. He's not going to slow down or back up. I think we're in for a very exciting fight in this one.
I don't see why he's getting a lot of hate. Sounds like we have a lot of un-Americans in this fine country, Eric. That don't sit well with me. You hear what I'm saying? I don't like it one bit. Not one bit.
Well, again, man, they call Kamaru the Nigerian Nightmare for a reason. It's not going to be an easy task, and he's going to want to keep that belt around his waist. There's a lot riding on this one. Kamaru said he wants to shut Colby's mouth. I would say most of the fans are going to want to see him do that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Shut his mouth. Sounds like another un-American. Freedom of speech, baby. He's against the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, Eric. Where does this guy end? Where does this unpatriotism end?
I don't think he's interested in stopping our freedom of speech. I just think he wants to stop Colby's freedom of speech.
That's still un-American.
Well, that's our breakdown of the main event of UFC 245. We're definitely going to be recapping this fight, and sure Colby win is going to be...
When Colby wins.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you after the fight. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bottom line is,
Everybody knows you're on equal.
everybody thought my last fight was
$25,000 if you could pee in a cup right now and it passes.
Put your money up.
I will. I'll put it up right now.
Bring it out. Pull it up.
Put it up right now. 25 grand.
Is the money sitting in your
Right
private
now.
jet?
It is, buddy.
And just one from Max Holloway. Max, you know, one of the reasons these people love you so much is you're blessed. You're always presenting good vibes. What do you make of all this craziness going on next to you?
I love it. I love it. You keep going, boys.